And since I'm back home, I had a little bit more time to do some calculations and see whether it was worth it, or more accurately I should say, whether it was cheaper to drive the Model Y during my rental compared to a petrol or hybrid petrol powered vehicle. Now, to make everything more clear, I need to give you some details. For the most of the trip, it was 3 of us in the car with some luggage behind us. We drove mix of a city and highway with predominantly highway driving. And for the 1,200 kilometers that I covered, I've averaged 165 watt hours per kilometer, which is 265 watt hours per mile. Usable battery capacity on the long-range dual-motor Model Y is 75 kilowatt, and I was able to drive before I needed to recharge 450 kilometers. I'm gonna put how many miles is that down here. One thing to consider if you are not an owner or if you are not familiar with the EV world, the charger that you're planning on visiting may be out of order. So please don't plan your trip to the last mile of range, as that may put you in a trouble. So now let's continue the calculations and see what we've got.
Hey guys, just quickly wanted to jump in that video and remind you that it's gonna take just a second to subscribe to this channel so you can see more car related content. Thank you.
In the weather conditions that I drove mainly, which was around 0 to 7-8 degrees, and with 3 people in the car with a little bit of luggage, I can cover 450 kilometers with a mixed city and highway driving. So what I decided to do is compare the Model Y, which we all know it's electric, with the 2020 to 2022 Toyota RAV4 2.5 liter hybrid. Whilst the Toyota is going to be vastly inferior compared to the Tesla in terms of performance and technology, we are after efficiency. So let's see which car is going to be more efficient. Toyota average consumption is 50 miles per gallon, which is 6 liters per 100 kilometers, and at an average price of €1.90 per liter for 27 liters, which we need to cover 450 kilometers, it will cost us €51.30. The Model Y, being a Tesla, the best charging places, the most reliable, quickest and cheapest were the Tesla superchargers, with variable rates based on time and location for as low as 42 cents up to 62 cents, but that's still very good prices. Now on most of the other places the price was anywhere from 69 to 89 cents per kilowatts. As I have to be fair to the ICE car, I would take the average price, which is 65 cents per kilowatt hour. We need to multiply the price per kilowatt hour by the battery capacity, and the number we get is €48.75. So the difference is only 5%, which could easily turn in a favor of the RAV4 if I was not aiming to drive efficiently in the Model Y. And that leads me to the next point, and that is, if you have not driven an electric vehicle, a powerful electric vehicle, I definitely recommend it. The acceleration that you get, that instant acceleration, is just something that you gotta experience. And a couple of things that truly impressed me with the Tesla is, first, how accurately the computer was calculating the distance that I was able to cover. And second is, and that was actually more important, how efficient it is. For such a big car, being able to achieve 165 watt hours per kilometer in the conditions that I was driving it is just really good in my opinion. Now, I would love to hear your opinion if you think that this is efficient, or there are other cars with such dimensions that offer better efficiency. Unfortunately, EVs are a bit more expensive to rent, and it is slightly less convenient to recharge them, which may make it harder to justify the potential savings from charging instead of refueling. Additionally, if you plan on taking a longer trips, you may need a longer range EV, which is even more expensive. If you want to do longer trips and you rent a EV with a real range of 220 kilometers or 140 miles, for example, the Citroën or the Kia e-Niro with a 39 kilowatt hours, you're gonna spend quite a bit of time on the charging stations or calculating your stops, which is not gonna be the nicest experience for a trip. Therefore, if you want to enjoy your actual trip,
steer clear of that. Good one, James.
and if you are not just by yourself but with someone else that is not big fan of staying on one place and charging the EV,
You can just pull right over and plug in. I don't know what that is.
Never seen an outlet for that.
I would suggest you to still opt for an ICE car, and that may also save you some money, and potentially your friends are still gonna be your friends at the end of the trip.